Good morning, everyone out there in YouTube land. 8 Zerto coming to you on September 17th, 2025. So, if you're an Oregon or Oregon State football fan, you've heard of what they call the Civil War and the football game. It's actually playing this Saturday, and it's been since 1894. Well, actually, I think the real civil war right now going on in Oregon has to do with the what we call the Greater Idaho issue, and that's something I've commented on before. And I'm asking, I'm going to leave the comments on, but I'm please asking for no trolls. Please listen to what I have to say, and we can disagree. But please provide your reasoning for disagreeing instead of just throwing out epithets, because then I'll just shut you down. I'm just going to report you. So anyway, so I was in north central Oregon on Monday in wheatfield country, in a place called Grass Valley, which is a beautiful little town, very quiet and peaceful, a good getaway from the crazy busyness of Portland. And anyway, so I found this the Central Oregon Rancher. So, the Greater Idaho Movement. I'm going to read this. All right. So, blah 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 blah. So here we go. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the Greater Idaho Movement seeks to convince Oregon to relocate the Oregon-Idaho state line westward so that the traditionally conservative eastern counties would join the state of Idaho, which the movement says better matches Eastern Oregonian values. Since 2020, 13 counties have passed their measures. The movement believes that moving the border would create a win-win situation for both Oregon and Idaho by better matching voters to state governance and with lower political tension across the state. Granted, lower political tension, excuse me. All right, so state lines can be moved through a process called an interstate compact. So I looked on Wikipedia. Here we go. So here's an example of that list of operating agencies created by interstate compact. All right. So in January, Greater Idaho bills were introduced in both the Oregon House and Senate requesting border talks or study. Neither of those bills received hearings despite the co-sponsorship of numerous Eastern Oregon legislators and a joint letter requesting a hearing from all 3 state senators whose districts are affected by the proposal. In 2023, the Idaho House of Representatives passed a resolution inviting the state of Oregon to begin border talks, and the governor of Idaho has publicly supported border talks as well. The movement has previously reached out to the governor of Oregon as well as to President Trump, asking for support in getting border talks between the 2 states started. So, what my take on this is that let's please the Western Oregon legislators in Salem, please hear out the people in Eastern Oregon. They're not stupid. And, they don't get the kind of resources. So I lived in Boise for 10 years. I worked as a hospital chaplain. I met a lot of ranchers and farmers and that worked in Eastern Oregon. And they're intelligent people, okay? And there's good people and bad people everywhere, okay? There's some rednecks and some people who are, survivalists and don't trust the government, but most of them are, they just want the best for their families and for our country. So, just let's consider Western Oregon. Let's consider what they're talking about. I'm being as calm about this as possible, but it really ticks me off when people west of the Cascades think that they're better than everybody else. They think that nobody lives in Eastern Oregon. Well, are they a bunch of nobodies then? You know what? Like in Ontario, Oregon, that produces a great number of onions for the entire country. By the way, do you guys like to eat onions? Where are you going to get your onions? How about they just stop anyway, they're not going to stop producing them. How about products from cattle? Do you like hamburgers? Do you like leather? Do you like other products? Do you like wheat, by the way? Do you eat wheat products? Do you eat wheat? Do you realize that all these people are growing all that stuff and other types of crops, not just for you, but for the rest of the world? And then you don't give a poop about their point of view? Well, get a clue. Listen. For God's sakes, can you listen to somebody? At least give them a hearing. I say to those people in Salem, those frickin' corrupt politicians, listen, for God's sakes. Listen. Would you just listen to people? Listen to the other people that live in your state, for heaven's sakes, that are working their butts off to provide, a lot of great products, healthy products. And, how about take a road trip out there for the rest of you people, you libtards who live in Multnomah County? How about take a road trip to a beautiful city called Baker City? Go talk to the people there. Have a nice conversation. Meet them. They're really neat people, most of them. Go to LeGrand. Talk to the people there. Go to Sherman County. Talk to the people there. Go to Grass Valley. Have a stop in the cave. You'll be surprised how peaceful it is there. You don't have all the stupid people, the drug addicts living on the street and stuff, and all the crazy political crap. Yes, there's some political stuff back there, but for good darn reason. Okay? So get a clue. Yes, I'm getting upset because these people are real people. They're not nobodies. All right, over and out. Peace.